In this lecture, we'll be starting with chapter number 7, that is control and coordination. And this is the second lesson of your biological part. Okay, we have already learned first chapter of biology, that was life processes. And this one will be the second chapter of biology, that is control and coordination. In its we learned that life processes are all those processes in our body which takes place to sustain our life, right? So until and unless there is no life processes taking place in our body, we will no longer be alive. Okay, so for us to be alive, there should be respiration, there should be nutrition, there should be transportation, there should be excretion. Apart from that, there are a few other life processes also which are much more complicated, and therefore we have complete different chapter for those life processes. One of them is control and coordination. Control and coordination is also one of the many life processes that takes place in our body, and since it is complex enough, we have a complete different or complete separate chapter dealing with this topic. I hope so you are understanding it well and you are good to go with this lesson. Okay, so if you talk about control and coordination, it's a process where your different parts of the body will be working in a coordinated manner. It means what? That the function or the product from one object can be used as a raw material from to another organ or another organism, right? So this is how control and coordination is like necessary. Even when you talk about for proper functionality or like working of your organs in a coordinated manner, at that time also control and coordination comes into the picture. Okay, now the question is, why is this process necessary, right? So if we were a unicellular organism, we would not be in a requirement of control and coordination to that extent as we are right now, because all of the life processes that is to be taken will be taking place in a single cell if we were a unicellular organism. But the thing over here is that we organism right now are a much more complex organism, having billions and millions of cells working together, and each of the cells have its own task, correct? Now the task of one cell or one group of cell can lead to effect to the process or the functioning of other cells or its processes, right? And therefore what we can say is that the functionality of one organ is dependent on the functionality of the other organ, and this is how there should be a coordination between these two organs so that they can work properly and in harmony. And that is why control and coordination comes into the picture. Let's see and try to understand something about control and coordination in more detail. Fine. So let's move ahead and we'll see that what we have here to learn more. So let's see. So what we have is, the question over here is, what happens when we see tasty food? Okay, so for example, your mom puts was very tasty food in front of you, and she asks you to not to touch that food at all. Okay, what will happen is your mouth will start watering. Why is it so? Because you are seeing something. This is called as a stimulus. Okay, what is a stimulus? A stimulus is nothing but change in your environment. Whenever there is change in your environment, that will be called as a stimulus. So what was change in this example? What was the change in your environment? It was like earlier there was nothing in front of you and you had no smell of some tasty food, but as soon as your mom kept that food in front of you, the change in environment is what? Now you can smell something very good, now you can see something very tasty, right? So this isn't stimulus, right? So what happens when you see a tasty food? The answer is saliva comes out from our mouth, right? So it means that our mouth starts watering, correct? Yes or no? Then what we can say, how do we feel when someone hurt us, right? Some, for example, if your friend beats you, if your parents beats you as a punishment, what will happen is that you will feel very you'll feel that pain. Now that pain can be either physical or it can be emotional, as in both the case. In this diagram, it is showing physical pain, and in this example, the pain is emotional, right? Okay, so pain over here is also an stimulus. Why? The For example, when you had some external stimulus, it means like when your parents bait you or they scold you, that was a stimulus in the mood that they were having. There was some change in the environment, and that can lead to certain results also, right? So either you cry or you get angry, correct? Yes or no? So we feel sad or we cry, right? That is the thing. So this is what we feel when someone hurts us, right? Now when we talk about hurting, so hurting is not only about the physical hurt, but I'm talking about emotional hurt also, right? So we feel sad or we cry at that time. That is also due to the action of control and coordination, right? Moving on again. So what do we do when we feel cold? Okay, so when we feel cold, what we do? We shiver, right? हम लोग कांपते हैं, and we try to wear those types of clothes which will insulate us well, and it will keep us from the cold temperature, right? So see, we have a response over here. What is this? This is we shiver. Fine. So all of these were examples of some stimulus, right? There is something inside your body which is controlling your body and our emotions. What we can say is there's something in our body, right, which controls our body. Right? When are we supposed to water our mouth, and when do we need to cry? When should we supposed to be sad? And when do we need to shiver? When not to shiver? So all of these things are controlled in our body by something, right? Okay. So this is nothing but the control and coordination part of our body, which controls each and every aspects of these things. If you see over here, all of the boxes above the diagrams are stimulus. Okay. If I tell you, let me mark it for you so that it will be obvious to you to understand it. So if you see over here, I can say that keeping tasty food in front of you is a stimulus, right? Or someone hurt you will be called as a stimulus, or feeling cold is a stimulus. These all things that I have underlined right now, that I have marked right now, is something which is taking place outside your body. It is kind of like change in your environment which is taking outside your body, right? जैसे आपके सामने टेस्टी फूड रखा है तो ये आपके बॉडी के बाहर रखा हुआ है, right? If someone is hurting you, that someone is outside your body. He is not part of your body, right? And if you're feeling cold, that environment, that temperature is outside your body, right? So these all are stimuluses, and all of those things which are mentioned below is the response, correct? That will be called as the response. क्या हो जाएगा वो? Response हो जाएगा. Fine. So if mom keeps tasty food in front of you, that then at that time saliva comes out from your mouth, that will be response. When someone hurts you, you cry or you feel sad, that will be a response. And then when you feel cold, you tend to shiver, so that will become a response, right? So whenever your body shows response to stimulus, that at that time control and coordination comes into the action. Okay, so whenever we say that how come we identify or we can distinguish any object as living and or non-living, so one more property that can be used to distinguish between living and non-living organism is that whether they are whether they are responsive to stimulus or not. For example, अगर सोचो आपके सामने एक dog लेटा हुआ है, right? Okay, now if you take a stick and try to poke him, will that dog still try to lie down the way it was earlier? No. There will be two options. Either that dog will wake up and it will follow you and try to bite you, or else by getting frightened enough, the dog will run, right? So either dog आपको काटने आएगा या तो फिर वो भाग जाएगा. If you try to poke a sleeping dog, right? Yes or no? So poking was a change in the dog's environment. How? Because उसके पूरे skin में पहले जो pressure था, that was normal, right? But once you applied some force or you start poking a stick to that dog, the pressure exerted on some region of his skin was increased, and that is stimulus, right? वो stimulus हो गया. And then what can its response will be? It will be either fight or flight, मारो या भागो, right? ये dog का response होगा, right? So whenever we want to see whether an object is living or not, we can check its responsiveness to stimuli, correct? I hope so I'm very much clear. Let's take another example. If you see a stone lying down, okay, so if you take the same stick and try to poke that stone, will that stone fight you back? No. Will that stone run away from that place? No. So stone has no responsiveness to stimuli, and therefore what we can say is that the stone is non-living. I hope so. The thing about response and stimulus have been cleared to you with the help of these examples. If you have any doubt, you can be sure to ask it as soon as possible so that I can clear it. I hope so all of you have understood it well. Let's move ahead and let's see that what we have further to learn. Okay, so that was all. Let's see. Fine. So the question is, if something is controlling our behavior or the order of working of organs in our body, the question is, what is that which controls it in our body? हमारे body के अंदर ऐसी कौन सी चीज है जो इस चीज को control करती है? Okay, that's the question. And to answer this question, we have this lesson. Okay, so once we learn this lesson, we have the answer to this question right now. Fine. So controlling means nothing but regulating over here. So this is what we will study in this chapter. Okay, so let's move ahead and see what we have there to learn. So this is chapter number 7, control and coordination, and we are ready to move ahead and try to understand more about control and coordination with great detail and depth. Okay, let's see. So what we can say is life is consisted of living organism, correct? Okay, so when we say life, we are referring to living organism, right? For example, हम बोलते हैं मेरी जान है, right? So we have life, correct? So we ourselves are living organism. Likewise, हम ये भी बोलते हैं कि पेड़ों में भी जान होती है, जानवरों में भी जान होती है. So it means what? That even plants and even animals has life, and these are nothing but they are living organisms. Can someone tell me that what is a fundamental unit by which living organisms are formed? Can someone answer me?
Cell.
Yes. I guess majority all of the students know that the answer is cell, right? Because cell is the most fundamental unit of life by which organisms are made up of, correct? Irrespective to what organisms you're talking about, each and every organisms are made by some or the other cells. The number of cells can be one or it can be more than one. It depends. I hope so you're getting what I'm saying, right? And when these cells comes together, what forms is the thing which forms is tissue, and tissues lead to the formation of organs. Let's see about that. Okay, so we have over here what we can say is, what are living organisms made up of? The answer I've already given to you. The answer is what? The living organisms are made up of cells, correct? Now cell, it is a basic structural and functional unit of life, and we have already learned about this in previous two standards, in 8th standard as well as in 10th standard. We learned about cells, right? Let's move ahead and see. Now let's talk about cell. So cell is the most fundamental and fundamental structural and functional unit of life. And once we can say that when cells come in group, those group of cells will be called as tissues. We also learned about tissues in standard 9. The name of the lesson was tissues itself, right? Okay, so we learned about many tissues and how they perform different tasks, right? So whenever there are several there are several cells coming together forming a group, these group of cells will be called as tissues. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's see. Okay, now group of tissues together form organs. So whenever there is many tissues coming together and performing a single task, then that group of tissues will be called as organs. जिसको हम लोग क्या कहेंगे? Organs कहेंगे, ठीक है? Now let us see few organs of our body. We've already know that our body consists of many different organs, but still we'll see some examples. Okay, so we have brain, then we have lungs, then we have heart, we have stomach, we have intestine, and we have like there are still many more organs that we can keep on talking about. But just for example, for some like just for an example, we have these organs listed over here. Okay, so we have brain, lungs, heart, stomach, intestine. Intestine में भी दोनों आ जाता है. We have small as well as large intestine. Okay, now these are example of few organs, and these organs are nothing but group of tissues, and these tissues are working together to perform a single task, right? So these are organs, right? Now, what is a system of organs called which performs a single task? It means that there will be many organs connected together, and these all connected, what we can say, all these connected organs will be performing a single task. For example, let us say that let's talk about alimentary canal, right? So is alimentary canal a group of or system of organs? Yes, it is, right? How can we say that? Because it consists many organs. Like let us say the mouth, we have the mouth, then we have the esophagus. So okay, then after the esophagus we have the stomach, after the stomach we have the small intestine, and along with the small intestine we have actions of glands like liver and gallbladder as well as pancreas. And then the food will be going to the large intestine, and then later on the food will be digested, right? Okay, so what we can say is the alimentary canal is a system of organs working together for accomplishing a single task. And what is the single task? To synthesize energy or raw material from the food that we eat, right? So over here the name of the system will be called as what? The digestive system. Why? Because the process of the digestive system is what? It is digestion. I hope so you're getting my point, right? Okay, let's see. Moving ahead, let's move ahead. See, और आगे हम लोग देखते हैं. Let's talk about it more. So what you can say is group of organs working together are called as organ systems, right? They are called as organ system. And if you see the diagram over here, the diagram is representing the digestive system. Fine. Example, digestive system है यहाँ पर हमारे पास. Then we can say all organ system working together form organism, right? So whenever there is we can say that our body is made up of many organ systems, right? So what we can say from here is that our body is made up of many different organ system. हमारे body के अंदर बहुत सारे अलग-अलग organ system present है. Okay, and when we talk about organisms, all of these organ systems work together, and then an organism is built up, right? So if we make it short, what we've understood right now is that the smallest unit of life is what? It is cell. Many cells comes together, it forms tissue. Many tissues comes together, it forms organ. Many organs work together, then it is called as organ system. When many organ systems work together, then we get organism, and that is how we are made, right? So this is how a body is formed, an organism is formed, right? Fine. So the question over here is how does these organisms function? हमारे पास इतने सारे अलग-अलग organ system है, but still how are we able to function in a well proper manner, right? Even if you people are given some project, a group project, so there must be some coordination, right? So आपके group में प्रोजेक्ट में सोचो कोई डेकोरेशन का काम करेगा, कोई इंफॉर्मेशन कलेक्टिंग का काम करेगा, कोई पैसों को कलेक्ट करने का काम करेगा, राइट? सो सब लोग अलग अलग काम कर रहे हैं, बट एट द एंड सभी का काम साथ में आना जरूरी है, राइट? सो देयर शुड बी सम कोऑर्डिनेशन. Likewise, what we can say over here is also that whenever our different organ system is working in our body, at that time there should be some coordination between all of these systems in our body, so that our body will be functioning in harmony, right? ठीक है, जैसे कि for example, if we like eat food, okay, so the organ system which is responsible for digesting it is what? It is the digestive system, right? Now once once this digestive system digests the food completely, what will do? It will simply absorb all of that digested material and will diffuse it inside the blood. Now the organ system which is participating right now is what? The transportation system or the circulatory system. Why? Because the blood is a part of the circulatory system, and the blood is responsible of taking these materials from one region of the body to another region of the body, right? Until this that doesn't take place, what will happen is the digest food that you digested will be of no use, right? So it is to be taken to those cells or those tissues where production of energy and maintenance and repair of wear and tear is to be taken place, right? So if circulation would not have been there, the digested food that you've absorbed from the intestine would not have been taken to those cells where it is necessary. I hope so you have understood it, right? Now, once circulatory system takes this digested material to those places where it is necessary or it is required, what happens is now the next thing that takes place in that cell is what? The respiratory system. Why? Because unless your body doesn't has oxygen, that oxygen that absorbed food which is taken to your cell will be of no use, because until unless food material is not oxidized, you cannot get energy from it, and until unless your cell doesn't has any energy, it cannot perform any of the tasks, right? So over here respiration is also an important part. Now once respiration takes place, if we say respiration has taken place and production of energy has taken place, and we can say that there was production of energy and everything inside the cell, okay? So what we can say is there are some byproducts formed. Now these byproducts are toxic to cell. Until unless these toxic materials are not removed from the body, they can increase the toxicity of your body gradually with time, ultimately leading to the dysfunctionality of cell and then the tissue and then the organ as a whole. If the organ fails to do its function, then your body will be in great disadvantage, right? So at that time, the is responsible to system which is responsible to take care of is the excretory system. Why? Because excretory system will be taking all of the waste material from the body. It will be collecting all of the waste material from the body and will be excreting out of your body, so that your body will not grow too much toxic that it might not work, right? So that is how each and every organ system is interrelated, and if either of this system gets malfunctioned, if it doesn't works, what will happen is its effect will be on all of the other organ system as well. अब उसमें से कोई भी अगर organ system के working को हटा दो इस पूरे process में, जो मैंने आप लोगों को just समझाया हो, तो एक भी process को अगर आप हटा दोगे तो बाकी सभी process में disturbance आएगा, right? So because all of these working of the organ system are interrelated, there should be some coordination, right? And this is what we are going to learn in this chapter. Let's see. Okay, so let us understand with an example. हम लोग एक और example लेंगे जिससे हम लोग को समझ में control coordination क्या होता है. Okay, let's see. Now let us have this example. Imagine that there is a boy in a jungle. Okay, now he's walking in a jungle, in a dense jungle. Now what we can say is we check his heart, and if we check his lung, we come to know that his heart as well as lung both are working properly and it is in very normal state. Okay, now while walking, what comes is he suddenly sees a lion coming through in front of him. Okay, what he sees is he sees a lion coming or walking towards him. You tell me what changes would take place inside the body of that boy. What obvious? The first thing is that his breath will start getting faster and faster, right? Okay, and ultimately his heartbeat will also get faster. Why is it so? Because whenever there is some danger in front of us, the two options that we have is either fight or flight. Okay, either fight with that lion or either walk away or run away from that lion, right? Either of these options, either you fight with this lion or you run away from this lion, you require a great amount of energy, and we know that energy is obtained by oxidation of food, and to get a sufficient amount of oxygen, our body starts to breathe very faster. Why? So that we get a lot of oxygen to oxidize a lot of food molecules. And basically what our body is doing is our body is like gathering all the energy which is necessary to fight with that lion or to or run away from that lion. Yes or no? Right? So this is how our body is responding with the stimulus. What was the stimulus over here? In this case, what was the stimulus? That the lion came up suddenly. That was the stimulus. And what is the response? The response, the boy can have two responses. Either it is fight or it is flight. या तो फिर मारो या तो फिर भाग जाओ, right? So they, either of these two responses the boy will be having. Let's see what we have more to learn about it. So what we can say over here is the line is a stimulus for them, right? Yes or no? And what we can say is line is a stimulus, and stimulus is nothing but it is any change in an external environment that I've already explained to you, right? Let's move ahead. To this stimulus, his body reacts. Okay, so there is some reaction to this stimulus. Okay, so what is the reaction? Let's see. His lung breathes faster. Now what happens is his lung will start breathing faster, and then what we can say is his heart will also pulp faster, right? His heart beats faster. Okay, so his heartbeats will start increasing also. I hope so you are understanding it, right? Okay, let's see, move further. But this happens in a controlled manner, that is, it is systematically regulated according to the stimulus, right? So you will be like this, all of these things will be taking place in a very systematic order. Like your eyes will be seeing, then your brain will understand, then your brain will be signaling it to your heart and your lungs to start palpitating a lot. So what we can see is your eyes, your brain, and then your lungs and the heart, all of these things are interconnected, right? And these are connected by the control and coordination system, right? Okay, let us see more about it. आगे देखते हैं. So control refers to systematic regulation of various activity. जब आप बहुत सारे activities को systematic तरीके से regulate करो, at that time what we can say is that is control of your body. ये आपका body का क्या हो जाएगा? Control हो जाएगा. Let's see. Okay, let's move ahead. Now, this has happened because the eyes send the message to the brain, right? I've already explained to you. Then what happens is, now the brain understands it. The brain sends message to the heart to beat faster and the legs to start running. Barabar? So what will happen is, once you see that lion, now you decide, now your brain decides, now that since you have a huge lion in front of you, there is no possibility to win against that lion by fighting it. So the better option is to run away from it. So what will you do is, your heart will be sending some message to your heart to increase the rate of beats per minute, as well as it will also tell the muscles of your legs to contract and relax in a very fast and but rhythmic manner, so that you can run as fast as you can to get escape from that lion. I hope so you all are understanding the situation, right? So what we can say over here is, your brain will be sending some messages. That messages will be going to the heart as well as the legs muscle. Then what you can say is, this is called as coordination. Coordination means orderly execution of all activities, right? So we have broken down the two words of this lesson, control and coordination. We understood the meaning of control, we understood the meaning of coordination, and when we bring this together, this is how our body reacts to certain stimulus. Okay, with the help of control and coordination, our body reacts to certain stimulus. This reaction is nothing but the response. So each and every stimulus has certain response. Stimulus can be very lame, very like very unharmful, as like as simple as getting thirst, or it can be as complicated as seeing a lion in front of you who can snatch you away and snatch your life away, right? Okay, so these are like the variations of stimuluses that can happen. Yes, Manish is saying that when the boy is running, there is a hormone called as adrenaline, which which starts its action. Yes, Manish, you are correct. But learning about adrenaline, we'll be doing about that in later lectures. We'll try to understand things in sequential manner so that it will be easier for us to understand and for others also. Okay, good, Manish. Let's proceed. आगे देखते हैं. So what will happen is step by step what will happen, coordination will take place and it will implement, right? Yes or no? So what happens over here is because of the perfect coordination between the organ system, the boy is able to run, right? Okay, for example, if if your brain sends some signals to the muscles of the legs to run, but there is but your body's muscle will be responding 2 to 3 hours later. मतलब अभी अगर आपके ब्रेन ने मैसेज को सेंड कर दिया पैरों में कि आपको भागना है करके और पैर 2 घंटे के बाद भागना शुरू करेंगे, you tell me, will you be remain alive? No, but obvious not, right? So this is how that there should be a perfect coordination, that as soon as the brain signals something to do, at that instant only the action is to be taken place, or you will be in grave danger. Correct? Let's move ahead and let's see more about it. Now what we can say is that the boy escaped from that lion and now he is alive, he is safe now. Okay, so this is how control and coordination works properly, and this is how your life can be saved with the help of control and coordination. Okay, so this was a jungle, right? Let's talk about another example. For example, you're walking on the streets, okay, and if you want to cross the road, what you will do, the first thing that you will do is you will check towards your right whether there is some car coming or not, whether there is some vehicle coming or not. Then you will check your left and you will again check whether there is some vehicle coming or not. Once you see that you are safe to cross the road, now only you will cross. Imagine that if you won't do that, imagine that if you see right now and then after seeing that you won't be able to understand what is in front of you, or whether your body is not able to understand or comprehend what is working in and around you. So what you can do is you will simply walk through the road, and what can happen is a vehicle can simply dash you, right? This can be life threatening, right? So to be safe, what we need is we need control and coordination so that we can like safeguard our life, and we can like stay alive, right? It helps us to stay alive. Let's move ahead. Let's see more about it. So we know, what do we know right now? For meticulous functioning of an organism, there has to be perfect coordination among different systems or organs and various stimuli from their surrounding, right? So if we want our body to work in a proper manner, what do you mean by meticulous? Meticulous means in proper order and with proper sequence, okay? Fine. So if we want our body to work in proper order or proper sequence, that too it should be responding to different stimulus in different way. At that time coordination is to be perfect. Okay, there should be perfect coordination in our body. Let's see, for example, but do we show the same response to every stimulus, right? Do we show that? Let's talk about an example. Okay, um, for example, if we let's take a boy. Okay, let's imagine a boy who is sitting in a classroom. Okay, वो classroom में बैठा हुआ है. Now one of his friend pokes him with a pen. Now what can be different types of responses that the boy can give to his friend? So the first thing is, and the most obvious thing that you people might be doing, is you will slap him tightly and then you'll abuse him with some bad words, right? कि why did you did this? ऐसा क्यों किया मेरे साथ? क्यों मुझे छुपाया? Right? This will be the first response. What will be the second type of response? The second type of response will be you will be immediately moving away from that pen, and then you will try to understand what is happening, and then you will see the face of that person, and then you will see, अरे तो मेरा दोस्त है, ठीक है, fine. So you will simply leave him, or you simply say not to do. You're trying to focus on the lecture, and you will try to explain him, right? So this might be the second response, right? So whenever we talk about certain stimulus, even though the stimulus is the same, different organisms or different people will be responding in it in a different manner, right? So this is how we can say the stimulus response can take place. Let's move ahead. आगे देखते हैं. So the answer is no. What we can say over here is like, if stimulus is heat, अगर heat energy stimulus है, right? So still क्या heat हमेशा हमारे लिए नुकसान वाला होता है क्या? If is heat always harmful for us? Is heat
No.
always harmful for us? No, right? For example, if we are in Kashmir right now, okay, if we are in Kashmir right now, okay, and we are facing bitter cold, and now just for the sake of some to get a bit heated up, what we'll do is we'll have a bonfire. Now feeling the change in the surrounding, what will be the change? We'll get some heat energy from the surrounding. Will that be harmful? Not at all, right? Rather it will be useful for you, so that you will be prevented from getting the harm of that bitter cold. So stimulus of heat energy is not always harmful for your body, right? Let's talk about another example. So let us say that your mom is cooking food. Okay. Now while cooking food, now she feels extreme heat on her hands. Now that will be harmful, right? Yes or no? And at that time, she will move away from that source of heat, so that she might not get more harm from that heat energy. So what we can say is, heat energy or stimulus of heat energy can be useful from in one example, or can be harmful in another way, right? So this is how a single stimulus can have several outputs. It depends upon what kind of situation are you in, and what kind of surrounding are you in, and what kind of requirement you have. I hope so you are understanding it well. Let's talk about sunlight. So sunlight is also stimulus of heat, right? Yes or no? So sunlight is stimulus, and you will be feeling the warmth right now. Also in Palghar and in many places, you will be facing a lot of heat or temperate weather, right? Yes or no? So this will be the stimulus for our body. ये हमारे लिए क्या हो जाएगा? Stimulus हो जाएगा. Fine. Okay. So what we can say is, the response is what? That we will be sweating. So sweating is a response, so that our body will try to like keep up with the temperature. So response is what? It is sweating over here. Let's say if stimulus is cold, what will be the response? We will be shivering, or else we'll be wearing certain clothes which will be helping us to insulate our body. हमारे body को क्या करेगा? Insulate करेगा. Fine. Let's see about it. So stimulus is cold, response is what? Shivering. Shivering is response to that stimulus. Fine. Let's see. Stimulus is any change in an external environment, and all organisms should respond to stimulus. Okay. So this is very important when it comes to organism, that there should be some kind of stimulus. अगर stimulus नहीं होगा, so there might be certain damages that the organism should take, right? Okay. So this is what we need to know. Let's move ahead. आगे देखते हैं. For every stimulus there is a different response. हर अलग 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 जो stimulus होता है उसके अलग response होते हैं. Fine. Let's see. So let's talk about control over here. Okay, so control refers to what? Control refers to the systemic regulation of various activities. So whenever there is various activities taking place in our body will be controlling it. And the most important part of your body which controls each and every activity is your nervous system as well as endocrine system. We'll be learning in the end of this chapter. इस chapter के end में हम लोग दोनों system के बारे में सीखने वाले हैं, ठीक है? It forms the last half or the second half of your lesson. आपको second half में आपको nervous system and endocrine system के बारे में सीखने को मिलेगा. Fine. So that is control. So let's talk about more. So let's talk about coordination. What is the definition for coordination? Coordination means the orderly execution of all the activity. आप सिर्फ activity को control कर रहे हो, so that will be control. And when you are you are maintaining the order of execution of different activities in your body, at that time the thing that your body is doing is coordination. I hope so things are clear and you people are understanding it well. Okay, let's see. So why is control and coordination required? I've already explained it to you right now. It helps in you people or you organisms to be alive, right? Until unless there is no control and coordination, your likelihood of survival is very less. Let's talk about it more. Control and coordination are required for proper growth and development of an organism, right? For proper growth and development, it is necessary. Let us see some example of control and coordination in plants. We'll see some examples of control and coordination in plants to understand it well. Okay, so here we have an example or a view of a playground in which we have certain trees, and we have two people over here playing the seesaw. What you can see from the picture is we can see a lot of things right over here. We can say, can animals move? The question over here is, can animal move? So over here human beings are also fall under animals, right? Yes or no? So can animals move by their own? Yes, they can move, right? Yes or no? They can move freely. So what we can say is they can move, right? So answer is yes. Let's see, can plants move? Now the question is a bit ambiguous. So if we say movement, so if the plant remains in its place and then it moves, then that can be said, yes, plant can move. But if we talk about movement as in locomotion, that can plant move from its place to another place? So no, at that time plant cannot move, right? So we can say when it comes to movement, movement within that place is possible, but moving from one place to another is not possible for that plant, right? Yes or no? So this is how we can answer to this question, right? Yes or no? So plants cannot move from one place to another. It refers to this one, okay? So it cannot move from one place to another. Yes, sir. But the answer is yes. Most of the students they will be saying that plants cannot move. But the actual answer is what? It is yes, it can move. How? Because when you see there is certain kind of movement which plant exhibit. These movement can be broadly classified into two categories. Those two categories are what? Growth dependent movement and growth independent movement. So when the plant is growing, so ultimately it is showing some movement, but it is very slow that we cannot see it by our naked eyes, right? So like if the roots are growing, they are moving further away in deep into the soil. If the stem is growing, it is moving further away from the ground and moving towards the sky, right? So these are kind of movement which are so slow that we cannot comprehend by our naked eyes, but still it is present, right? Yes or no? So this is how we can say that plants also exhibit movement, but the movement is very, very slow. Okay, let's see more. Now let's talk about more. Animals can move from one place. Animals can move from one place to another, and this motion is called as locomotion, right? Okay, this motion is called as what? It is called as locomotion, right? Yes or no? So if we talk about here, so locomotion is coordinated by nervous system and muscular system. So there are two motions that are responsible for proper locomotion to take place, and those two system of organs are what? It is the nervous system as well as the muscular system. Fine. So these two are responsible for locomotion. Let's talk about it more. So see, this is the nervous system, and we have some set of organs throughout our body which will be working together. But how do plants move? The question is, do the plants move? Yes or no? How does plant move? That is the question. We can see animals moving here and around, but if we say that plants also move, how do they move? How do they show movement? Let's talk about that.